Good day guys, my name is Lord Tomo. We're going to begin to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collector review. As you know, I'm Lord Tomo with the good old blue steel Sonic the Hedgehog. It's late, so let's get this review on the way. This review is quite interesting in the sense that I never thought I would actually get into collecting these sort of stuff, but I figured might as well and just see what's currently out there. So this is a Sonic Adventure Chao plush review. Now, as far as I'm aware, I think my information on here is a little sketchy. I got this particularly in Japan. I didn't get into Japan, but I actually had a friend over there who sourced this one out for me, and I was like, you know what, might as well just get it, add it to my plush collection and eventually my display when it actually happens. So this came in a variety of different plushes based from the actual tag itself. Let's getting as close as possible. Now, one of the small nitpicks I'm going to have with this straight off the bat is the fact that this actual tag is on his arm. I don't know why they would ever do that, and it's completely obnoxious and annoying beyond anything I could ever imagine when you have a perfectly good tab at the very bottom. But it is what it is, and it's attached, and even though it does look stupid, I personally think it does add character to it, but meh. So the actual tag is from the Sonic Adventure series. It's obviously released exclusively in Japan based on the markings on it. I never saw this outside of Japan as far as I'm aware. It definitely wasn't in Australia, and as far as I'm aware, it was never technically released in America. I could be wrong with that, of course, but please correct me down below if you were able to actually source this physically in America or the UK or any of that part, because quite frankly I'm not entirely sure they would do it unless there's like an import store of sorts that all the stock comes from Japan and whatnot. So on the actual tag itself, you have of course the cast of Sonic Adventure. You have Knuckles, Amy, Sonic, E103, pretty sure it was E103, Big the Cat and Tails, and of course there's Sonic Adventure. At the very bottom it has a bunch of obligatory Japanese stuff, and based from what I can read, which isn't pretty well, I would imagine this is from a retail store, if not Jopolis, the actual company itself. Now, I am aware that there are other Chaos out there. I'm not 100% sure on all the variations of Chaos. I know this is yep, it's one of those nights. But yeah, I am aware there are other ones. There is a purple one that I know of. I think there's a black one, and I think there's the Darkness Chao and the Heavenly Chao. This is the standard one, and there's also a purple one. So as far as I'm concerned, there's probably four in total. I could be wrong, there could be more. I don't think so from this range, but I'm pretty sure this is just the stock standard 4. There are other Chaos plushies that are pretty much more modern. I don't really count that as part of this series. Now, one of the reasons I decided to actually pick this up and made me more fascinating was simply because I saw other pictures of this, and I was like, you know what, this is pretty well done. So for the most part, it's your stock standard basic Chao or your normal Chao, depending on what you like to call it. And you have his hands, which are obviously stitched on his belly, so you cannot move. What I particularly found awesome about this is the gradient effect of the actual hand, which cements over his actual palm, which I think is awesome. It does kind of look like urine, let's be honest, and it does follow through to the actual legs as well, and a bit to the tail. But I think it actually adds character over years, and of course there's a little, you can't get it everywhere. I'm not 100% sure what they would have used. I would have imagined they used some sort of like what's the word, color dye, or cloth dye or anything of that nature to cause that gradient. But it's really awesome attention to detail. You can also see that on his actual legs on either side, and of course just on the back of his tail, or little thing. And of course you also get it on the top of the head. So the actual head knob itself is just predominantly just your yellow material, and of course just around it is the radiant dried out effect of the actual coloring itself. Now you have his big bubbly eyes, which I think is absolutely well done. They're just hard buttons, so you have white in the round and dark blue in the middle, and he's got no mouth or nose or anything, that sort of stuff. Now, one of the major appeals of the Sonic generation, depending on the Sonic universe and all that sort of stuff, was the child guiding and raising them and all that sort of stuff. I actually enjoyed that a lot. I would spend hours upon hours just feeding up my child to be the most legendary super OP sort of character ever. So I had that character, so this is really awesome. The other plus is it's extremely well stuffed. Like, every ounce of his body is very well cushioned, and there's no loose or any lessened areas, so every bit is very well cushioned, which is awesome. I guess the only small nitpick I have, which besides obviously the tag itself, is his actual wings. His actual wings are this very velvety sort of soft material. I couldn't tell you from the top of my head what material it is. I'm sure it's somebody knows, I just don't know. This isn't stuff, it's literally just a material, and it's just stitched around, so it's very flimsy felting. I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, I'm pretty sure though that this isn't designed to be stuffed at all, so just to give you the very esque like sort of feel to it. So there's that, and it's extremely adorable. Like, truth be told, and that's his butt, if he has a butt. But yeah, so the major nitpicks of course is the tag being on his arm. Annoying, but it is there, and of course I would have preferred they had a bit of stuffing there. Obviously it's 20 plus years when they probably made this, so yeah, not the best time to make a recommendation. But overall, this plushie is superb, and I really enjoy it. It's one of those things I've never thought I would ever get, but I actually got it, and it's pretty much superb condition. What did I get in particular? I had a friend in Japan that got it for me. She sourced it. So as to where she sourced it, I couldn't say. I'm pretty sure this is authentic as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. It cost me a fair bit. It cost me about $100. I ordered various other things, and this was one of them, and this in particular sent me back about $100. Pretty costly, but look, if you're into your plushies in particular, especially the Sonic the Hedgehog universe and all that sort of stuff, I won't lie, other than the GE Entertainment line that's currently coming out, which is by far phenomenal, this line in particular, any plushies that do come in Japan, they have so much attention to detail, and it's extremely well developed, and they really go out of the way to make the standardized version of these to be in high quality and high demand. My guess is they're not mass produced, there's only a limited, unlike certain other plushies for example, but this is extremely well developed. And you know what, this is technically my first Chao from the whole Sonic universe, and I'm slowly getting into the plushies. I'm not super into it. I know some people have some crazy Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, plushies and all that sort of stuff. I'm stepping back away from that, not because I don't want to compete. I never see this as a competition to begin with anyway, but it's more or less, you know, if I see something that really is captivating and I do want it, I'll look for it, or keep my eye out. But it's not generally something I want to collect every single plush relating to Sonic, because, you know, truth be told, I purchased a few, and Jasmine in particular, and they were extremely disappointing, except the middle Sonic. That's pretty well done, but for the most part it's pretty awesome. So eventually will I get probably Sonic the Fighters. I know that's quite elusive and quite extremely rare and expensive, but you know, for the price tag that I got for this, it's pretty awesome. Look, I'm gonna probably have to jack this up in terms of rarity, probably 8 stars out of 10, simply because I never saw this ever on eBay or Amazon or Yahoo Japan auction and all that sort of stuff. So it may have popped up, but I've never, and I actively search every now and then, you know, maybe once a week, couple, you know, it depends on the day and the week and all that sort of stuff. But look, it's, if you could find one, definitely pick it up. It's definitely something nice. I'm gonna have definitely on display, and it's a Chao. You can't go wrong with a Chao, and don't forget the lace. But anyways, tell me what your thoughts on this. Do you have one? If so, which ones do you have? If you know the various variations of them, let me know. I'd like to know how the different types of Chaos these ones actually come in. As far as I'm aware, there's only 4: the standard, the purple one, the darkness and heavenly one. So let me know if there's more other than that. But yeah, thank you for checking out this review. Till next week, speed on, take care. Till next time.